Previously on Dance Moms.
Keep going, keep going. Christy's taking Chloe out of school, and then she's taking her to the movies.
You know what the rule is? You're not in class, no solo.
She was at the doctor.
Done!
You.
I want to go home.
We are.
Coming up on Dance Moms. Foul language or unsportsmanlike behavior by a dancer or parent will risk expulsion from the Abbey Lee Dance Company.
Mackenzie can't do this solo. She's not ready.
If I was competing in 2 days, I'd have a headset on and I'd be doing that dance in my head a million times.
She'll have one wear a costume too big and one wear a costume too small, just so my daughter doesn't stick out.
These mothers are calling my daughter a cheater for last weekend. They said that she practiced her dance with that music. Did you cheat for my daughter?
Get up, get on the floor. My world is with my girls, living on the dance floor.
Come on, girls, let's go, let's go, let's go! Come on, girls, hustle up! Last week, the Abbey Lee Dance Company was a real hit in Chicago at Energy Dance. Finally, overall high score, junior groups. I'm really proud of my girls. But now it's a new week and it's time for my favorite thing. Let's move on to the pyramid.
I'm sure that my kids will be on the bottom of the pyramid this week, but I'm back because my girls want to dance with their friends, and that's what they're gonna do.
First, we have Brooke. Probation, no solo this week. Paige, same thing.
I don't think it's fair that Abby put my sister and I on probation because we had nothing to do with the argument my mom and her had.
Brooke, Paige, you didn't do your routines. Nobody got to see them.
Please welcome Paige. Thank you.
Judges, please skip ahead to entry number 42A.
This is Brooke performing Paint the Pictures.
I think that Abby thinks that she's hurting me by putting my kids on probation. They didn't not do their solos because they weren't prepared.
Where are the stoppers?
I'll have them for the competition.
Done!
Go get paid.
You're finished.
Neither of my kids are doing a group dance. You're not doing a solo. Let's go, Brooke. They didn't do their solos because of unfair treatment.
Well, regardless, it doesn't matter. Kelly was out of control. She used vulgarity and profanity in the dance studio. Therefore, those two kids were on probation. Chloe?
For 2 weeks, my daughter has been at the top of the pyramid, and she misses one rehearsal and she goes straight to the bottom row. Sure, Abby, that's fair.
Last Monday, you went to the doctor, then you went to the movies. That's ridiculous. You need to be in class, not at the movie theater. I don't know if Chloe really went to the doctors or if she was playing hooky and went to the movies. All I do know is you're on the bottom row, kid. Mackenzie did a great job, but it still wasn't your best. You need to be in more ballet classes. Nia, you're here because you worked very well with Mackenzie. I gave you a role. You were the ringmaster in a circus. Some may say it's a little immature for you, but I love the fact that you embraced it, that you had fun with it, and that you were entertaining to the audience.
Mia's place on a pyramid, it means a lot to her. And seeing herself on the second row, I'm happy for her. I'm happy to see that joy in her eyes.
And at the top of the pyramid, we have Maddie.
I'm really not surprised that Maddie's at the top of the pyramid. Abby has been looking for a reason to put her back up there.
You stepped out on stage, you started your routine, and your music skipped. You didn't let it get the best of you. You stayed out there, you kept going, and you finished without missing a beat. You really had the audience behind you. So I don't know what happened with the CD. It's just scratched. But we need to move on.
Abby has been in the dance world long enough to know that when that happens, you win. So the second Maddie's music stopped, I knew what was going on.
Now, this week we will be attending Energy Dance Competition again. It's in Waterford Township, Michigan. Last week, when I called to enter the routines, Gina, the owner, she told me there are 2 studios specifically coming to beat the Abbey Lee Dance Company. The director of the competition was kind enough to tell me that 2 studios called to register, determined to take down the ALDC. I'm gonna have to pull out all the stops. Let's talk about the group number. It's called Silver Spoon. Silver meaning the finest quality flatware, meaning the luxuries of life, the country club, the finest schools. So this is a pretty dance. We also have a prop. We have a big giant spoon, and you pass the spoon around throughout the routine. I want to talk about the rest of the numbers for this week. Maddie, you and Chloe will be doing a duet. It's called Inside of Me, and you need to work together. You need to be a team. I want to see that teamwork once again. Understood?
Chloe and I make a great team for our duet because we're always in sync and we're really good friends, so I think it helps out with that.
Nia, you're going to have a solo this week. It is called Bound. It means you're being held back while you're trying to chase your dream. Mackenzie, you're doing a solo. Your dance is called Daisy Chain. You're like a flower, and you're thinking, he loves me, he loves me not, he loves me, he loves me not. And it's not Justin Bieber, it's the judges. Understood?
I wish Justin Bieber was one of the judges. He's cute.
Maddie, you will be doing Helen Keller. You will be deaf, you will be blind, and you will be mute. I am using an old routine that was undefeated, that was absolutely beautiful, and it's about the actual character of Helen Keller. I'm really putting a lot of pressure on Maddie. I need those judges to be right on top of her so they get the story and it touches a nerve. So, you need to be in character, and you need a rag doll to bring to rehearsal.
I'm surprised that Maddie is at the top of the pyramid. Maddie wasn't even supposed to have a solo last week. I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, that shouldn't even have been considered as part of the placement on the pyramid. Like, that's the unfair treatment.
All right, moms, you can go. All right, spread apart. We're gonna do a warm-up. I'd like your legs right out in front of you. While the girls are stretching and getting ready for rehearsal, I need to have a little chat with Kelly. I need to remind her that I'm the boss. I wanted to talk to you about a few things that happened last week. Done.
You, Abby.
You don't need it for the competition. I told you to do it for today.
You.
I can't have the loss of self-control or the language go on when there's other customers in the studio.
You threw a chair and scared my 10-year-old.
Well-
It goes both ways.
Yes, but this contract doesn't go both ways. I want to take her contract that she signed and make her read it. I don't think the woman reads. Foul language or unsportsmanlike behavior by a dancer or parent will risk expulsion from the Abbey the Dance Company. I don't care how much time and energy I've invested in her children. If she opens that filthy mouth one more time, those kids are going to be shown the door.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, she pulled out the contract and was
Oh, you mean
like,
at the top of the contract that says we will provide a nurturing and safe, positive learning experience?
I will stay here just to torture her.
All right, ladies, we have 3 days. 3 days to put an entire routine together that is completely different than anything you've ever done. The group number this week is called Silver Spoons. Kind of a play on you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. I want them to look like they were born and raised at the country club. I think we have a good shot at a winning number. Come on, girls. We are not going to lose to those 2 other teams.
You know what's interesting? Last week, Chloe went to the physical therapist and the doctor. So how come that was an issue this week?
Somebody told her that she went to the movie.
Chloe didn't show up for class last week. She's at the movies. Who rats out a 10-year-old?
I didn't tell her.
Typically, I never tell Abby things that the people do behind her back, but I was just so sick of all the moms saying that I don't follow the rules. So I let her know that Christy had no intention of bringing her child to class on Monday.
So who told her?
I told her that
If Melissa really had a problem with Chloe going to the movies, I don't know, I would think that she would come to me and ask me about it instead of going to tattle to the dance teacher. So why is it your business to tell her that she went to the movies? She wasn't allowed to dance, so what do you care where she is?
I just told Abby because I was just pissed off because
You need to make sure that you get on Abby's good side.
I'm not on Abby's good side.
Yeah, you are, Melissa. She claims that she and Abby are no longer friends, but man, you're really working hard to get back on her good side, aren't you? Do we need to talk about all the other lies? We were told by you on the phone to Kelly that Maddie practiced with her music like that and she knew to keep dancing.
The day after Maddie's music skipped, I talked to Melissa on the phone, and she admitted to me that if Maddie's music skipped, she was instructed to keep on dancing.
So make my daughter look bad again.
No, we're telling you that you look bad.
Okay.
Because you have said that it's okay to lie and cheat as long as you win and you get your way. And you know what? That's not something that any of us want to teach our kids.
My daughter did not practice to music like that.
Melissa, I really have a hard time believing you.
Oh, well, someone here is lying. If Abby set that up, that would be pretty despicable.
That's
But
cheating.
how can you do that?
It's
I don't know.
cheating.
I would have no idea, but that would be pretty
I
low.
didn't do anything of the sort. I would never cheat. The moms accused Abby of causing my daughter's music to skip. That's like sabotage.
Go back, let's try it one time.
I need to speak to Abby about the situation, and I need to get to the bottom of it.
You'd have to ask her.
Oh, I will. I guarantee it. I'm not happy about this.
Left shoulder.
Maddie and I have a duet this week called Inside of Me, and I really like it. And we only have 3 days to learn it, clean it, and perfect it for the competition.
Okay, come on. Maddie and Chloe have several challenges in the routine Inside of Me. There's partner work. They have to work together. They have to trust each other. They have to be technically correct. All of those things go into this duet. I want to see that partner work. I want to see the together stuff. I want to see the timing.
Really, really important. The kids need to leave. I really need to talk. Abby, I don't care. I need to talk to you. Please, girls, go real quick. Very quickly. Go. I walk into the studio, and Maddie and Chloe are practicing. Maddie is mad at me that I walk into the studio, and I really don't care. I need to get to the bottom of this.
Melissa's in there talking to Abby. Go and tattle on us.
What do you think she's saying?
Maybe she's not talking about it.
Oh, God.
After we
And
just
she's
finished
gonna say,
saying, don't
they're
talk.
just jealous.
Melissa once again storms off to go tattle on us to Abby. If she really felt strongly that she didn't do what Kelly was saying she did, then stay and defend yourself. Don't go run and tattle on us to Abby.
These mothers are calling my daughter a cheater for last weekend. They said that she practiced her dance with that music. Did you cheat for my daughter?
Absolutely not. You would never send a child intentionally on stage with a bad CD. That makes me look bad. I've been doing this for 32 years. Women, wake up. I have
That would
stickers
ruin
all over
my daughter's career. I would never let my daughter cheat.
Wait a second. Your daughter's career? How about my name?
I know.
How about my reputation?
I know it's your reputation,
Look
but
at
my
what's
daughter's
labeling her. You just fell into the same pot with them.
I'm sorry, because they're calling my daughter a cheater. I don't want my daughter to be labeled as a cheater.
She's not.
I don't want you to give her special treatment, or I'm pissed. I'm done.
Melissa,
We do
she's
this all this
once
weekend.
again jealous that your kid won. Don't you get it?
Oh, okay, well, I'm not happy.
Toughen up, Melissa.
I was mad. I was mad at Abby, but I wanted to make sure that she wouldn't do this. And she said, I would never do that. Ever, ever, ever. And I believe her.
What were you talking to Abby about?
I asked her if she did something to the CD. She's pissed that I even thought that she would do that.
Come on, girls, let's go. All right, girls, listen. We have 2 days. 2 days to get this number finished and clean, and it's a mess. We have 2 days until the competition, and I'm really feeling the pressure. We have 2 teams gunning for us this week, and my group number is not looking good. I need to fix it, and fix it fast.
I'm really nervous for the silver spoon dance because I don't want to drop the spoon.
Okay, just set it down.
Does anyone have to turn with that spoon? Why can't we just use a little spoon?
It is one big spoon.
Whoa! The prop is fabulous. I mean, it looks great for pictures, but the girls cannot dance with it. They can't even get off the floor. I'm trying to find something that's not so heavy for them to work with.
It's very difficult to rehearse with that big giant spoon. All of us are having really hard times because we can't really lift it. It's bigger than us.
Can we try it with this trophy? See if it's easier for them. Okay, Maddie, let's go. All right, that's a wrap. Nia, solo, you're up.
I'm watching Nia solo, and I'm already noticing it is so different than any solo she has ever done before in her life. It has a more mature tone to it. It could be a defining moment for Nia as a dancer.
Stretch that bottom foot. This is Nia's first solo since the whole Miami debacle. She needs to prove to me that she is a competitor. She needs to warrant more difficult choreography. Face, you're dying. If I was judging, I would say losing momentum, losing energy. Come on, stamina. Stamina, keep it up, face. I think Nia looks really great doing this number. I think it's good for her. It shows strength. She has some good jumps in it. I think it's a really nice number for her. Maddie, when you get a drink, get your rag doll and get it back in here. Oh, we have a doll. Someone did their homework. Okay, well, this is cute, but this is like a boy doll. So this is perfect. During the Helen Keller number, Maddie dances with a doll. This is more than just a prop. It's a very important part of the piece. For this routine to be a success, Maddie needs to know where the doll is at all times. She's supposed to be blind. If she breaks character, the judges are gonna know it. No, I want to put the aerial in. I forgot you did it at the end. I want you to aerial over the doll.
I'm not really nervous for my Helen Keller solo. I think this is a good dance for me because I'm good at playing parts.
Mackenzie slipped at Next Star in Upland, California. She left the stage, and I don't want the same thing to happen again. Stay out there and do what you were taught. So that's our lesson with her for this week. Cross your fingers, or that kid's gonna be mincemeat. Do you know what to do next?
Mackenzie can't do this solo. She's not ready. She doesn't remember it. She can't do solos. It makes me so nervous for the competition because Mackenzie needs at least 2 weeks to learn to dance, not 2 days. I'm going to lunch today with Holly, and I just want to talk to her about this music issue and get it out in the open. I feel like I can talk to Holly without her screaming at me. My daughter or I did not do anything wrong, Holly.
I'm just trying to figure out what is going on, because that exploded quickly. It escalated really, really fast. The fight we had upstairs about the scratch CD and Maddie's solo was driving me insane. It was like World War III erupted over the scratch CD. In this dance world, there's so much coming at you in different directions, and you feel like you don't know what's going on. I only have the dance moms to rely on. That's why it's really important for me to be able to trust you and trust the other moms too. We have to be able to trust each other. Something's going on and we have to resolve it. We're calling each other liars and cheats, and that's on a team.
Good morning, everyone. All right, I have the spoon. Let's try it with this. This is the last day we have to rehearse, ladies. So come on, I need 100% in there. Let's do it. This is our last chance to rehearse. I've already had to replace our silver spoon prop, and I'm not thrilled about that. I just hope nothing else goes wrong. We need to utilize this time. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We have a lot to do today. We have 3 solos, a duet, and the group number to rehearse, plus costume fittings. There is no time to waste. Let's do it. Smile! Smile!
Smile when I yell at you.
Do you want those 2 other teams to beat you? What's wrong with you guys? Come on. Don't sickle your left foot on that devil pay parallel.
We have 2 teams coming to beat us this weekend at this competition. This would be a number that we would do in Ohio against the Candy Apples, not against 2 teams that are coming to kill us.
Grand plie, Chloe, plie. Turn your feet out.
I'm watching the dance. It's a disaster. None of the girls know it, and they're going on stage tomorrow. It's a mess.
This week's dance does not compare to last week's dance.
Not at
No,
all.
and they have a chef spoon.
Look, you can't even tell what it is.
I think Abby's smaller spoon is going to be easier for the girls to dance with. I don't know what it's going to look like on stage. It sort of just looks like a wand.
Let's grab a drink and then we'll go into the other numbers. One of my favorite things is seeing the girls try their costumes on for the very first time. Costumes can really make or break a performance.
I like Mia's costume. I think it's cool.
That looks like the first mature costume she's had. It's not like a cutesy costume. When I first saw Nia's costume, I was so happy. It's not a cutesy kind of costume. It has a bunch of ropes. I really think that Nia's stepping up this week with her costume and performance.
Right, get your butt down there. All right, Nia, it's good. Still not seeing a lot of face. Sometimes you're amazing, other times you're sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. All right, let's go. Daisy head.
I think Mackenzie's costume is adorable.
It's cute.
Just keep dancing. Doesn't matter, nobody knows the dance.
Mackenzie's so cute in her Daisy Chains costumes, but if she doesn't remember her solo, cute can only take you so far.
And stand up. And off. Did it. Is that all we have? The girls come in their silver spoon costumes, and something's just not right. I have 2 pink, 2 blue, and 1 green. Go to your formation, let's see.
There's 5 girls in the dance. There's 2 pink costumes, 2 blue costumes, and 1 green. So obviously the girl wearing the green is going to stand out, and that was Paige. And apparently that couldn't happen.
Paige, put the pink on that your sister has on.
The pink is too
Oh,
big.
the pink is too big.
Way too big.
That's like a large.
Yeah. The green one's the right size for her.
But it's Paige. She doesn't matter.
Paige, turn around, let me see that on you. What size is yours?
I'm not fixing that costume.
Chloe and Brooke switch. So the obvious choice was to take Chloe, who starts the routine stage left all by herself, and put her in the different color. She has to wear the green dress.
And the green doesn't fit Chloe either. It's too small.
Yeah.
No, but she'll have one wear a costume too big and one wear a costume too small, just so my daughter doesn't stick out.
I don't know what these moms would do if they didn't have something to complain about. I'm so glad that Abby didn't give Maddie that green costume, or I know those moms would go ballistic.
So ideally, we needed like 3 and 2 or all the same color. All right, that looks the best.
Abby switched my costume with Chloe's, and I'm a little bit upset. But now the problem is my costume doesn't fit, and it's kind of falling down.
Of course, Paige can't stand out.
Well, I thought it was nice that she did stand out.
Yeah, so did I. So Abby would rather 2 girls go on stage in costumes that don't fit, rather than have my daughter stand out.
Why? It's too small.
I kind of want to trade back dresses so that Paige can finally have the special part, and so that I have a dress that fits me and that fits her.
I really think it would have been nice if Paige could have kept the green.
That's what I wanted her to do.
I don't know how Abby expects to meet these 2 studios that are coming to beat us. Our costumes are ugly, the spoon is too small, the dance is doomed. And I'm tired of fighting with her. I'm not fighting with her over a pink or a green costume. Either she can get you a costume that fits, or you'll wear the one that does not fit.
I don't know how much longer I can take this. To have a dance teacher, like, sabotage and...
Honestly, I don't know how much more of Abby trying to sabotage the group numbers I can take, but I know she's just switching Paige's costume to hurt me, and you know what? It worked. That woman is just evil. She is an evil person.
It's making me sick.
We've arrived at Energy Dance. While my girls are getting ready, I'm backstage checking out the other teams. Supposedly they came to take us down, and I'm a little worried. These kids are fierce. We've got 3 solos, a duet, and a group number. I hope these girls don't let me down. So our first routine is number 39, the duet Inside of Me. Approaching this competition, I know that I have people gunning for me. So I am using Chloe and Maddie's duet, Inside of Me. It's a very difficult routine level-wise. I think it's packed full of all the right elements to be a winning number. All right, you guys are ready.
Okay, come on, girls. You coming? Come on, kids.
Once again, we ask that you please remain seated.
I'm a little bit nervous because there's pretty tough competition out there, so we'll just hope for the best.
Judges, please welcome to the stage entry number 39, Inside of Me.
Everybody has to try, that's what they say, but sometimes I don't know if I got what it takes to make the world come alive. But then I close my eyes, I put my foot upon the ground, listen to my heart, but it don't make no sound. Inside I know if I don't turn this thing around, I'll never live it down. Don't back down. Inside of me, I find my wings, 'cause I can be most anything. Inside of me is all I ever need, is all I'll ever need.
That's the best they ever did it. They have never danced that well before. Everything was right on the money. Good girl! Chloe's so good, really projected. Emotionally, the connection, their facial expressions on stage, working together, I thought they did an exquisite job.
Good job. You should be very proud of yourself. Did it feel good?
Yeah.
It looked great.
Okay, ladies, we're gonna go for the group. Moms, we need to get the hair done.
Well, Paige gets to put her big costume on.
It's unfortunate because I thought the green looked great on her.
You know. Paige has to put on a dress that is 2 sizes too big for her, just because Abby doesn't want her to stand out in the group.
Yeah, it's just a little big there.
It's big.
Oh well, it worked.
Both girls are wearing costumes that don't fit. It just doesn't make any sense.
Make a big deal out of the spoon. Smile, shoulders down.
I just don't know how much more I can take of Abby. I have had it with her.
Brooke's putting her hand in. That's a valiant effort. One, two, three. The girls are gorgeous in their costumes. The spoon has a bow on it. We just have to hope and pray that this number comes across the way I want it to.
Judges, please welcome to the stage entry number 53, Silver Spoons.
Judges like to see something new and something different. I don't care what those mothers think. I think this is a winner. From a judging point, I think it was a breath of fresh air. I think the routine was light and pretty and certainly different than anything I saw. Did the judges think so? I don't know.
Welcome again to Energy Regional Competition. We're gonna get right to the awards. Alrighty, in the Energy Junior Duet Trio, we have a top 3. In 3rd place, entry 16, Stretch on Your Grace. In 2nd place, we have entry number 39, Inside of Me. First overall is entry number 21, Don't Cha.
We have
some serious competition here. And I think that Abby's substandard choreography is just setting us up to fail.
We have the Energy Junior Small Group Top 3 Awards. In third place, we have entry number 121, Party. And our second place, entry number 53, Silver Spoons. And our top Energy Junior Small Group goes to entry number 131, Dream Girls.
The studios who made the trip just to beat our girls, it was a trip well worth it. They beat us hands down. So that group, they brought that trio, and then they brought a junior small group to compete against Silver Spoons, and they brought 3 junior solos. They're here to beat us.
Girls, last week you won. Today, studios came specifically to beat the Abby the Dance Company, and they did just that. You win, and then you don't have to work anymore because you think you're winners. These girls are not behaving like we're at a competition. I don't know what's going on with them, but they better start behaving like competitors. Girls, this is so sloppy, you might as well hand the other teams the trophies. Maddie, Nia, Mackenzie, you all have solos. If you're aiming for second, save yourself the aggravation, save me the time. Get it?
Is there anything else you could have barked at before they left? Because there's nothing wrong with second place.
I don't know, but I really hope that they checked and made sure Maddie's music didn't skip this week.
This scratch CD situation has gone too far. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Either that or make sure it did.
I trust Abby when she says that no one cheated.
So far, this entire competition has been a bust. It's all coming down to my solo routines. Let me have Nia, Mackenzie, Maddie right here, let's go. No, what's done is done. You can't go back and do it again. But we are not about to lose to those 2 other teams. So either win or lose big. What? Maddie needs to emote to those judges. Nia's routine is really mature. I need her to pull it off. And Mackenzie, come on, kid, just remember the dance and stay out there and do it, please. You need to prove that your technique is up to the standard to do this number, because there's a lot of amazing girls out there. Understood? This is Nia's first solo since the whole Miami debacle. And I'll tell you what, if that kid forgets this dance, there are no second chances.
You need to do that to my stomach.
We're in the dressing room, and Abby is helping Maddie with her makeup. She never helps my girls with their makeup. I don't feel like I'm getting the best treatment and the best training for my kids right now. And I'm gonna fight with Abby until I get it.
All right, let's go. Don't dance too far down stage.
Last week, my music skipped, and hopefully this week, nothing will happen to my solo.
This is Maddie performing Helen Keller.
Maddie's really been working hard on her Helen Keller solo this week. I think it's a really good thing that Maddie is being challenged this week by Abby.
Maddie went out there. She looked great. Thank God nothing went wrong. Now Nia's up next. I just hope she can pull this off.
This is Nia performing Bound.
Starts out sweet, and then it tastes bitter, and the coolness
even gonna make the top 5.
Good job.
Good job.
Oh, honey, it was beautiful. How'd you feel?
Really good.
Did you love it?
I was really pleased with Nia's performance, and she's come such a long way. I think Abby's finally taking her in the right direction. You're a better dancer now, right? Don't you think? I'm so proud of you.
All right, come on, Mackenzie. Now listen, twice in a row, you've exited that stage without doing your whole number. You have to stay on the stage until the music is over. Do you understand? Yeah. When Mackenzie steps out on stage, I will be in the wings. And if she tries to run off, I'm serious. She is going right back out on that stage. Come on, let's go.
She knows the dance, you know, but Abby freaks her out.
Every kid has forgotten dances, and she's never helped them backstage.
I'm really nervous about my solo because I might forget the moves again, and Abby would totally yell at me if I forgot this dance.
Entry number 185, Mackenzie Daisy Chain.
Because she wants you to remember it. She wants you to get through one whole dance.
Please welcome to the stage entry number 185. This is Mackenzie performing Daisy Chain.
You're the toffee apple of my eye, sweeter than a sugar daddy. You're the sun that brightens up my sky, even when the smoke is making it hazy. Yeah. Ring around me, Daisy. You're messy and you're lazy. You drive me bloody crazy, but I still want you.
Mackenzie remembered every move in her solo. She remembered everything. I was so excited. She really made Abby proud.
Alrighty, we have the top scoring Energy Petite Solo and Miss Energy being awarded to entry number 185, Mackenzie Daisy Chains.
Mackenzie won first place and she got her first crown. She was so tickled on stage. Maddie was so proud of her, and I just can't wait to hug her.
We have the top Energy Junior Solo, top 10. We have in 9th place, entry number 238, going to Nia Bound. In 4th place, entry number 226, Maddie dancing to Helen Keller.
Thank goodness that Mackenzie pulled out a win in her age division. Who knew the kid had it in her? But 4th and 9th, I'm not happy about that.
Good job. Good job, Ken.
I don't know what to think.
Now that the competition's done and over with, I want to go give Abby a piece of my mind. Between the costume fiasco and the scratch CD, I've had it with her antics. Abby, can I talk to you for a second? I just wanted to see, is it like your goal in life to make Paige feel bad? Finally, once she had the odd costume and was gonna have a second to shine, and then you take it from her. And then you gave her one that didn't even fit, and it was like, no big deal.
I'm not setting out to hurt a kid's feelings. You have to understand that. Chloe was the obvious choice. I needed all eyes to go over to her because she started.
And I realized that.
Kelly, come on. The dance is over. We already did the competition. They were second. Who cares about the dress?
But God forbid he would see Paige stand out just a little bit.
There's 5 kids. You can see them all on a stage.
Whatever, Abby. I mean, it's something different every day.
That's it. I will not take these accusations and the finger pointing anymore. I've had it. Girls, every single one of you know the reason we change things is because it doesn't look right. That's why we change routines. Don't go accusing people of doing things that they didn't do. Win or lose, I'm not gonna send somebody out there with bad music. And if any one of you mothers have something to say about it, come to Abby and find out what happens with the CD when it skips. And we'll tell you exactly what to do with it.
My girls, we're getting on the bus.
Finally, Abby has put an end to the CD skipping issue. We both said our piece, and if the moms don't believe it, that's their problem. I'm not discussing it anymore.